What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another installment of Renegades Reviews, right here on the Casa de 18 Studios channel. I am your host, JJ Williams, and today I'm going to be talking about the 1998 Tom Hanks romantic comedy, You've Got Mail, starring Tom Hanks as Joe, Meg Ryan as Kathleen, Parker Posey as Patricia, Gene Stapleton as Bertie, Dave Chappelle as Kevin, along with Steve Zahn, Dabney Coleman, and Greg Kinnear in minor roles. What's going on, everybody? Thank you once again for joining me here on Renegades Reviews. Today's film, as I said, is 1998's You've Got Mail, which is a retelling of the 1940 film The Shop Around the Corner, which starred Margaret Sullivan and Jimmy Stewart. This film would also be the third, and as of this filming, final time that Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan worked together, having previously starred in Joe versus the Volcano and Sleepless in Seattle. The film revolves around two retail competitors. Kathleen, who runs a mom-and-pop bookstore, and Joe, who runs Fox Books, which is basically, think of like a Barnes & Noble or a Borders. As competitors, Kathleen despises Joe because him and people like him are driving the mom-and-pop bookstores out of business. The stores that she feels are the heart and the soul of the book community. And their rivalry only intensifies when Fox Bookstores is about to open down the street from the Shop Around the Corner, which is the store Kathleen runs, which is a little nod, Easter egg to the original film that I spoke of earlier with Margaret Sullivan and Jimmy Stewart. However, because it would not be a romantic comedy without a little bit of drama. However, Kathleen and Joe are involved in an internet romance. They just don't know it yet. This film was right back when the internet was really starting to blow up. AOL was the big thing. You know, you'd open up your mailbox and you've got mail. Hence the title of the film. Kathleen is known as Shop Girl, and Joe is NY152. And they begin to fall for each other through their correspondences back and forth via email. Eventually, they decide to meet. When Joe arrives at the designated meeting place, Kathleen is already there. And because he knows, the little tells and signals of who to look for, he realizes that Kathleen is the girl he's been corresponding with. He's a little hesitant at first to go in there and see her, but in snarky Tom Hanks fashion, he goes ahead and he does. Walks in, joins her at her table, doesn't reveal who he is. She begins to lash out at him because she feels now that he's here to ruin her movement. She's supposed to be meeting this guy she's kind of crushing on. She has a good rapport with online. And here comes her hated rival. So she just goes off on him. Eventually he leaves, still not revealing who he is. Goes home, sends an email to her apologizing for standing her up. Doesn't reveal why, but he basically tells her, that eventually I will explain to you what happened. I'll make it up to you. As time goes and Fox Books establishes its rapport in the community, slowly the shop around the corner starts to lose customers, starts to go out of business, till finally it goes belly up. Once the shop goes under, Joe begins to realize that he has true feelings for Kathleen. And he begins to build a face-to-face relationship with her. He's able to get her to break her wall down a little bit, realize that he's not as bad of a person as she's made him out to be in her mind, and through hanging out, through seriously getting to know one another, they begin to slowly build a really sweet and true friendship. To the point where eventually Joe, as NY152, sets up a meeting with Shopgirl. And before she's supposed to meet up with him, Joe, in person, keeping in mind that at this point she still doesn't know that the two are the same person. So Joe, in person to Kathleen, professes his feelings for her. Then he leaves to go let her meet up with her online connection. So when she finally gets to the meetup spot, she hears his voice. And that's when she finally puts two and two together that NY152 and Joe Fox have been the same person all along. She cries tears of joy and happiness as she reveals to him that she hoped that it would be him when they finally met, because the bond that they had built was so strong and so good. And they go on to live happily ever after. This is your typical chick flick. I mean, you've seen Sleepless in Seattle, I'm sure. This is very much in the same style and vein, Two people that are destined to be with each other, that don't know it at first. And when they finally meet up with each other, they just have that instantaneous spark. It's your typical chick flick formula. I have nothing negative to say about it. And it's a very sweet story. So sweet that I'm going to give You've Got Mail 4 stars out of 5. I feel like Tom and Meg were really good with each other, just as they had been in past films. I'd probably say Sleepless in Seattle is the best one they did together. You've Got Mail would be second. Joe versus the Volcano would be third. That's how I would rank their collaborations with each other. What about you? What would you guys think? How do you enjoy You've Got Mail? How would you rank Tom and Meg's performances with each other? Let me know. Leave them in the comment box below. As always, I will reply to them. I will respond to them. Let's get hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans, all trending worldwide on social media. Let's try to get that going. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising. Merchandising? What's that? Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Don't forget to do what the little commercial just told you. Get out there, please, please, please. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and buy the shirts of the Casa D18 Brethren. I know Casa D18 Studios is basically just me now. Jeff has his own network, finally, that he started. Over a year old now. Congratulations to him on doing that. You know, finally stepping, not necessarily completely stepping away, but doing his own thing outside of No DQ, outside of the Casa D18 Studios, and having his own channel. I applaud him for doing that. Statboy has become a fixture on that channel as well with Statboy Sports Bar. You can get those shirts there as well. Hashtag Statboy Approved shirt and the official Statboy Sports Bar shirt. All available on Jeff Meacham Network's Teespring. You can get a shirt for me, the Renegade JJ Williams. You can get the Dads, not always, on Wrestling shirt. And then, of course, you can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network and Meachamania there as well. But please, 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 get out there and support us. Buy a shirt for your favorite show. Buy a shirt for your favorite host. And support us. We've got a lot in store coming up next month. As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw you a little trailer here. Check out what's going to be coming up next month right here on Renegades Reviews. As you can see, we've got a lot of content for such a short month. February, only 28 days. But we're not just giving you one theme. We're giving you two. We're going to give you 14 days of chick flicks from February 1st through the 14th for Valentine's Day. And then beginning February 15th through the 28th, we're going to be taking a look at films for Black History Month. We're going to hear the stories of Thurgood Marshall. We're going to hear the stories of Jackie Robinson. We're going to hear the stories of Muhammad Ali and so many others. NWA, Straight Outta Compton. We're going to take a look at Roots, the epic 70s miniseries, all right here on Renegades Reviews, so you're not going to want to miss that. Tomorrow, right here on Renegades Reviews. We've got another film that I have never seen before until I watched it for the sake of reviewing it, and that is The Green Mile, based on a story by Stephen King. I cannot wait to dive into that one, and we might, if I've played my cards right, we might have a special guest for that show. So stick around and see if I can pull that off. So until tomorrow, right here on Renegades Reviews, exclusively on the Casa D18 Studios channel, I am the Renegade JJ Williams. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.